Welcome to Pre-Snap Podcast, presented by LineStar app. Here's your host, Casey Bubba and Scott Bogman.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Pre-Snap Podcast, brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you check them out on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar NFL. And most importantly, download the app in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Everything you need in the palm of your hands to build your winning DFS lineups. And you're going to need that because we're here with your Week 13 NFL DFS preview. You can find me on Twitter at BDentrick and my co-host, as always, on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how we doing, my friend?
Doing pretty good, man. Ready to dive into some DFS lineups for week number 13 already. Let's get it.
Yep, it's going to be another fun week as usual. Got some big spreads to attack. And we're going to kick things off with Arizona at Chicago. Arizona minus 7.5. Over under 45.5. Bogman, what are you liking on this one?
Well, I like the price on David Montgomery in this game. I'll tell you that much. At $5,600 on DK65, I like him. Yes, we do expect the Cardinals to win this game, kind of going away, but Montgomery can catch the ball too, guys. So, I mean, if they're going to be throwing late, he can catch some dump offs and stuff like that. And I just like this price. I know that Arizona should win going away, but whenever you get a discount on a top end running back like this, I think I'm going to take it. So I think I'll have Montgomery in a decent amount of lineups, 56 and 65. He's my favorite here. I mean, if you want to go with Kyler at 75 and 83, I get it. Not interested in Fields or Dalton at all. James Conner at 5,900 is a good price as well. Don't really want, Hopkins at 62 and 72. I don't know if you're going to get him cheaper. So maybe that's a good price for him. I'll say maybe on him. And maybe if you want to go out on a limb and take the Cards defense, I get that too because they are rested. But Montgomery's my favorite buy here.
Yeah, the Cardinals defense is actually pretty good, 34 and 5K. I think that's a good angle to go to against Andy Dalton and company. I don't mind DeMont, but I've been so bummed the last 2 weeks in great matchups for Montgomery. They've misutilized him both games. It's been unbelievably bad. But if you want to, you can go for it. There's some other cheap running backs I really like this week, but if you want to be different in a tournament, I could see Montgomery being that option. I can also see James Conner being that option at 59 to 73. If Arizona gets up early and does their thing, like we kind of think they will, might be a heavy dose of James Conner in this one. So another angle to go there. I know people are going to want to stack Kyler and stuff. I'm just going to kind of watch. For the most part, I'm just going to pass on this game. But the running backs and the Cardinals defense, I could see. I don't hate your Hopkins price tag thing either. That's definitely an angle to go with. The last thing I will mention, if the Bears are playing from behind and having to keep up as we expect them to be, Darnell Mooney's 56 and 67, and he's been getting a ton of work, especially a ton of deep balls from Dalton. So that could be a tournament play to look at if you want to go there. But again, kind of off this game for me on this one. Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Baltimore -4 in this game with a whopping total of 44, Bogman.
Lamar Jackson all day, every day. If you're paying up for a quarterback this week, it needs to be Lamar. Probably going to be a high ownership. I get that. But he's going to run. He's the quarterback and RB1 for this team right now. So he's probably going to run for 150 yards against Pittsburgh. Their run defense is pathetic. No TJ Watt. So going to get a lot off the edge this week as well. Derek Tuska is not a good fill-in. It's worthless. So is Taco Charlton. So I think Lamar is going to go off. I think Devontae Freeman is a good buy at 5,500, 6,100 as well. Not interested at Najee at his price. I am interested in Claypool at 6,000. I think that's a pretty good buy. I think the Steelers will be losing. I think they'll take a couple deep shots. Hopefully one of them gets into the end zone for him. Pat Freiermuth cleared concussion protocol. We love that. So 4,200 isn't a bad buy, but it's not the best either. And look, Ravens defense is 3,400, not the cheapest, but the Steelers offense is pathetic right now. So I get it if you want to go that way. But my favorite buys here, Lamar, Devontae Freeman, and Chase Claypool.
Yeah, I think Lamar's a phenomenal play. Probably your better cash game spend up as well. He's just an all-around stud in this game, in this matchup. It's crazy what has happened to Big Ben. He's 5K and 6,500. Like, he's one of the cheapest quarterbacks in the entire slate. It's a starting quarterback. It's pretty wild how the mighty have fallen. This is one of those games that you could probably go with the old Baltimore stack if you wanted to, the Lamar to Hollywood to Andrews or go Lamar to Hollywood and put Freiermuth in there. That's a good price tag on Freiermuth, like you said, at 42 and 54. Even as a one-off, I don't mind him. Even if you're not stacking this game, he's a good discount because he should get a lot of work in this game. It's interesting because we talked about it on the betting show. This feels like a game that Baltimore should do their thing. At the same time, the spread's only 4. So it's a very, very interesting game where it makes
the AFC North game. They expect it to be gross and sloppy and a slugfest, just like Cleveland and Baltimore was. But after watching Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, I have no faith in my Steelers. So,
yeah, we'll see how this one goes. It should be an interesting one, and we'll see because Bogman and I were opposite on the pick show. Indianapolis at Houston, Indy -8, over under 45.5. Indy, get right time.
I think the only thing I'm taking in this game is Jonathan Taylor.
Beast mode.
Yeah, I don't want to pay for. Yeah, I get T.Y. Hilton at 4,400 isn't a bad price. I'll say that. Pittman's fine, but he's disappeared a couple times. I'm not taking Brandon Cooks. I'm not taking any of these trash running backs for Houston either. Indy D, very, very expensive at 37 and 45, but I don't care. I would take them because Houston sucks. So my main 2 picks here are going to be Taylor, pay up, and the Colts defense.
Yeah, I love Taylor for sure, 92 and 10.5. Don't mind T.Y. He's getting more and more used the last couple of weeks, so he's one to look at. Another nice discounted piece of the pie would be Jack Doyle at 33 and 5K if you want a piece of that. Otherwise, I don't mind the Colts defense. Like you said, we're pretty much on the same page on this one. Maybe we're overlooking things. Even, in reality, everyone's going to go JT in the running game. Pittman's only 5,768. They're still going to throw the ball enough to be valuable, at least in PPR format. So I think Pittman can be you can get him at a low ownership this week. He's been very popular of late. That could be a nice little piece of the pie. We talk about it when teams just score a lot. We're focused on the running game. It could be a week to go Wentz, Taylor, and Pittman. Get Taylor still. Get some of the running game, just go full bore. Could be an angle to go with. But if you want to just go Pittman, I totally get it. I mean, Taylor, I totally get it. Like everything points to a Derrick Henry-esque game or a Jonathan Taylor-esque game. The way he's actually been running, I should be nice. I think
in redraft next year, JT's your number 1 overall, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Barring some thing I don't want to mention off of these lips happening. Yes. Jacksonville at the Los Angeles Rams. Rams -12.5, over under 48, and they're looking to bounce back after a tough one in Green Bay.
Yeah, I do like a Ram stack here, but here's the issue: is Darrell Henderson has like this quad thing going on. So is he going to play? I think he's going to play. Is he going to be 100%? Are they going to need him for all 4 quarters against Jacksonville? Like, these are all big questions here. So Stafford at 73, 78 is fine. If you want to pay up for Cup any week, I get it. I like Van Jefferson's probably my favorite buy in this game at 53 and 58. I also like LaVisca at 44 and 54. And this is it. Like, if he doesn't get it done this week, I'm done ever suggesting LaVisca for anything again. So, but he's playing in the slot, which is where Jamal Agnew was playing before he broke his S. So I think that they should be down most of this game. They should be passing to try to play catch up. And I think Treadwell gets, 9 or 10 targets in this game. So what are they 30 feet over his head? Are they at his feet? Who knows? But I think he gets the targets. So I do like LaVisca buying this game.
Yeah, they tried to get him more involved last week. So I definitely think they're gonna try to make a point at least to make it happen. I don't mind Stafford. Like, the pay up spots is for Lamar this week, but Stafford should be in a great spot. Even the defeat last week put up monstrous points against Green Bay. So he should be there. I like Henderson too, as long as he suits up. I'm assuming he's good to go, and they should utilize him a ton. They utilized him a lot in the passing game last week, which is great to see. Love the Van Jefferson call. You can always pay for Cooper Kupp. So we're pretty much on the same page there. A lot of people are going to want to go James O'Shaughnessy because of the Dan Arnold role. He's 26 and 45. Do you have any interest in a guy like James O'Shaughnessy at that price point?
No, because I think they're going to break up these guys just a little bit more than they were with Dan Arnold. So last week, I'll just double check on the snap percentage here for everybody. For tight end, it went, Dan Arnold only had 7%. They gave, actually, you know what? O'Shaughnessy was in there for 81%. So that was a little surprising. Manhurts at 37%. So I think Farrell will be active in this game, though. I think he might get a little run as well. So we'll see. But I'm not the biggest O'Shaughnessy guy.
Okay. Chargers Bengals -3, over under 50.5, the highest total on this lovely slate, I believe. What do you like in this one?
Pay for Joe Mixon. Pay for him.
Yes.
8,100 against the very worst run defense in the NFL and the Chargers, and just the way that the Bengals have been, utilizing Joe Mixon has been outstanding in recent weeks. So he's expensive. 8,100, 9,400. I don't care, specifically in cash. Give me all the Joe Mixon.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Mixon is a great play. Mixon or JT?
Mixon.
Okay, I like that. I like that quite a bit. Higgins has always been playing PPR for me just because what he does. I don't mind Keenan Allen either at 75 and 73. He's just a target monster. And if you think Mixon gets his, that means the Chargers ought to be throwing to try to stay in the game. Keenan Allen will feast. So keep Keenan Allen in mind as well. Otherwise, not in love with a ton else in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Minnesota at Detroit could be no. Minnesota -7, over under 46.5.
I tell you what, though, there's some pieces to like here. I love Alexander Madison. I think the price is a little expensive. If I'm going to pay up, I'm just going to pay for Mixon. But I tell you what, I love Jamal Williams at this price of 5,400 and 6,500. I think that there's pretty much no way that Swift plays, and we know they don't trust Goff at all. I mean, Goff, by the way, how pathetic is this? Goff more expensive than Ben Roethlisberger, by the way.
That's what I was saying. Like, Ben is the cheapest starting quarterback this week.
Oh, that's hard to see. But Jamal Williams at 5,400, 6,500, we know what the Lions are going to want to do. They're going to want to run the ball. We know Anthony Lynn has I guess a nice way to say it is a soft spot in his heart for Jamal Williams. At 5,465, he looked healthy last week. Finally, I will pay up for Justin Jefferson at 82 and 8,000. I think you can pay up for Thielen and Kirk Cousins as well. So if you want to go with a Minnesota stack, I totally understand that. But I think the wide receiver I would buy from Detroit is Josh Reynolds. He's still cheap at 3,400. He's getting a ton of snaps. He scored a touchdown last week on Thanksgiving. He has a built-in rapport with Jared Goff from their days in playing with the Rams. So there's a lot that adds up there for Josh Reynolds being a pretty good buy if you're looking for a bottom of the barrel wideout. So I'll put him on my. We won't be talking about him at the end of the show, but I do like Reynolds at his price.
He's a great value, like we talked about for Thanksgiving. You mentioned it there. That rapport right out the gate, got it done on Thanksgiving. Didn't do much afterwards, but he got you what you needed for the price point. And the week before that, got targeted a ton. So I like Reynolds' value as well. I love Madison. I think 76 and 87, great play. Don't be scared of the price tag. Like you said, Mixon is the better play, but Madison should feast as well. The price tag on Jamal Williams is just DraftKings and FanDuel being lazy. Like if you go on DraftKings still, they show a questionable tag next to DeAndre Swift. It's like, no, they already said he's out for a few weeks, guys. Like he's out, so we could stop this game. But Jamal's a great point, 54 and 65. Love that price point as well. I think Minnesota does whatever they want, but it's also an ugly, ugly game. So if you want to stack Minnesota, I've been stacking them every single game you can. Otherwise, you give me both running backs, give me Josh Reynolds discount, and go from there. That's the way I look at it. Giants at Miami. Miami is -5 in this football game with an over-under of 40.5, Bogman.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a lot to like for DFS here. I'll tell you what, I do like Myles Gaskin, but I like a lot of running backs this week, which kind of makes me a little weary. But
a lot of affordable running backs too.
Yeah, Gaskin at 5,800, and the reason I particularly like him this week is because I love that wildcat they were running down at the goal line with him, Bob. I think that's super smart. You have a tiny quarterback that loves to get hurt in Tua. So why are you going to smash him in with all those huge offensive and defensive linemen down at the goal line? Nah, give it to the running back you wear out all week. And you know what? I bet you he tosses one. If they're running that wildcat like they were last week, I bet you he throws one into the end zone. Whether it's an interception or a touchdown is a huge question. Hopefully it's an incompletion. But I kind of like Gaskin at this price. Jalen Waddle was the number one wide receiver scorer last week. I think he can do that at any point. 64 and 6,900 is a fantastic price for him. I don't trust anything with the Giants at all whatsoever right now. So I will not touch them. Gesicki at 51 and 6,000 isn't a bad price, but I think I'd rather go with Pat Freiermuth if we're splitting hairs on tight end. So that's kind of what I like in this game is mainly Gaskin and Waddle.
Yep, we're kind of on the same page here. I like Gaskin a lot at 58 and 64. I feel with as many cheap running backs as there are this week, he gets overlooked again, just like last week. So this could be a really nice spot for him, and in tournaments especially. I also like the Jalen Waddle calls because he's going to get his targets. He's like a minty Deontay Johnson right now. And I should have mentioned Deontay with the Steelers game because just keep playing him. He's too cheap on DK for what he does.
Yeah, I was a little like waiting for you to say that.
Yeah, I don't know why I just totally blanked on that right now. I don't care what matchup they have. He gets force fed so much. Just keep playing Deontay Johnson. So in PPR formats, keep playing him. And Waddle's like a mini Deontay. So I'm on board with that. The one I can't wait to see on Narrative Street everywhere. Like I can't get behind it right now, but I already know what's going to happen. And Mike Glennon's 4K on DK. People are going to be promoting that. Just going to throw it out there right now. This is your Joe Flacco, folks, from a few weeks ago. It's going to happen. Same matchup too. So do what you wish and have fun. And send me a head-to-head. Philadelphia at the New York Jets in this one. Philadelphia -6.5, over under 45. Which Philadelphia team do we get, Bogman?
I mean, I don't care. I'm not paying for either one of them. So there is nothing I like. I'll tell you what. If Miles Sanders is announced as out, I love the price on Boston Scott at 46 and 66. That's it. Don't want any part of this game.
Yeah, this game is a big fat pass.
I mean, Devontae Smith is intriguing. I'd love to see him bounce back after the crybaby fit, but he's too expensive. 5,100 or 6,100. Nah, son. No, thank you. I would rather go with give me Van Jefferson. Give me
Van Jefferson.
Give me Waddle. Whoever. Not happening.
Many other games to try to take some fun on this one. That ain't one of them. Let's go to another good one here. I believe we are on to Niners at the Seattle Seahawks. Niners -3.5, over under 45.5. Now this has some appeal to me.
Look, I like Jimmy G at 5,700 and 6,600 respectively. The Seattle secondary is terrible. And I think Debo missing this game is going to mean they actually have to pass more. I think you need to get Kittle more involved. You've got to get the ball to Ayuk. Juwan Jennings is going to have a bigger role, and he's real cheap at 31 and 5,300 too. I think
Love that call.
Yeah, I think he could be a decent value as well. Eli Mitchell's always in play at 6,076. I don't want anything to do with the Seahawks offense, man. Just not until I see Russell turn around. Not interested in Everett, not interested in Kittle at that price. So my main call here is going to be I like Jimmy G. I like Eli. Ayuk, not bad either. 56 and 7,000, I think, is a pretty good price too.
Yeah, I don't mind the Jimmy G if you want to go all in. That's fine. But I love Eli Mitchell just for the price tag. 6K and 76 is dumb. Barring something stupid, he's getting 20+ carries pretty easily in this game. And that's something you can just that's a great thing you can take to bed with you. So I love Eli Mitchell in this one. I love Brandon Ayuk, 56 and 7,000, as he should get targets galore. And I like the Juwan Jennings call a lot. He got in the end zone once last week, got a second one taken back because he just missed dragging that second toe. There's a lot to like for this rookie. He's been playing well, and with Debo out, I'm with you on that. I think that's a very, very fun one. And then you know what? The Niners defense at 3K and 42 is appealing to me as well. Yeah. That's because the Seahawks are broken, man. Until Russ is healthy, and I don't think he's going to be because he came back. So I think there's a lot to like when it comes to the Niners in this game. And it's a big statement for them because they've been playing well. If you want to say you are the team in the West again, you need to win this football game. So it's a big one. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Tampa Bay -10.5, over under 50.5.
There's a lot to like in this game. If you want to pay up for Brady, if you want to pay up for Leonard Fournette, I get it. Same thing with Mike Evans, right? 6,774 is not a bad price for a guy that could end up being wide receiver 1 and scores in bunches. But my favorite plays in this game are going to be Russell Gage at 5,300 and 5,900. I expect Atlanta to be down this entire game. We know we can't trust Kyle Pitts. Gage will at least get the targets. He'll get 8 or 9 targets in this game unless he gets hurt, I think. So I think this could be a huge game for him in a comeback style. I don't want to do Pitts at 50. How is Pitts more expensive than Gronk? I love Gronk at this price.
It's because people keep paying for it. It's crazy, man.
5,300 and 7,000. Gronk has been the dude that Brady is throwing too deep with Antonio Brown not playing. Antonio Brown is not going to play in this game. So I love Gronk at this price at 53 and 7,000. If I'm going to pay up for a tight end, Gronk is definitely going to be my guy this week.
Yeah, a lot of similar thoughts. I don't mind paying for Brady this week. I hope people kind of forget about him because he had a rough fantasy week last week. Everyone will see the 38 points. He didn't do it, a lot of it. So it was all the Lenny Fournette show. So I like Brady quite a bit. Cordero Patterson, I'm going to keep playing him, folks. That dude is a fantasy points machine. He's 7K. He's 74. People are not going to want to pay that price when they see Madison and then Mixon a little more. You got Eli Mitchell below. Patterson's going to go overlooked again, and I'm all aboard that train. 7K and 74. Let me get a lot of that. I don't mind going back to Godwin after letting a lot of people down last week. You know, the Evans Godwin, like I agree either side if you want.
Yeah.
I think Godwin let a lot of people down last week because he's very chalky. So 66 and 76 is the way to go. Love the Gage call. Got peppered a ton last week. Should get it again. And then Gronk's been beasting. Like, I don't like to usually pay a ton for tight ends. If you're going to pay up, like, I'd rather have Gronk than Kittle. I'll tell you that much right now. So give me some Gronk as well. I'm with you on that one. Washington at Las Vegas. This is either going to be a low-scoring snooze fest or an amazing football game. I'm going to check the box on amazing. Vegas -2.5 over under 49.5.
Look, we mentioned this on the betting show, right? This is the biggest mismatch of the week, in my opinion, because Vegas gets 10 days and the Washington football team is 5 days to rest or whatever, 6 days. So I just think that Vegas wins this one going away, but there's a lot to like in this game in terms of DFS. Like either quarterback. I love Carr at 6,000, 7,500. I think he's one of the better buys. I love Josh Jacobs at 6,000 and 7,000. Love that deal. T-Mac at 74 and 72. How's he more expensive in DK? Don't really get that, but I'll take it. DeAndre Carter, I know, is a big one for LineStar at 36 and 54. I love Djax at 42 and 52. I think they could potentially go deep. And my favorite play in this entire game, because Darren Waller will be down, Foster Moreau at 2,700 and 5,000.
Everywhere. Play him
unbelievable price. I love this price for him. So
you know what day of the week Darren Waller got hurt, Bogman? Thursday. Mm-hmm. You know when the prices came out for this? Sunday.
Yeah.
DraftKings. Come on.
Hey, you know what? It's fine. I love it.
Oh, it's fine, but it's like he's going to be like 80% owned than he should be. So it's just it's so stupid. But I like to give him a hard time because their stock's plummeting. Derek Carr at 6K. I'm in at 6K on this Washington defense. I know they've been playing better. Whatever. Give me Derek Carr at 6K. He's going to throw it around. I'm on board there. Antonio Gibson at 57 and 62. I'm with. He got 7 targets last week. McKissick's likely out, so Gibson should be the dude. And I'm on board for that. Jarrett Patterson will get his. Don't get me wrong. But they were using Gibson a ton in the passing game last week, which is a good sign in my book. So give me Gibson at 57 and 62 in this one. It's a good way if you're stacking this game to get a little bit of exposure without going to T-Mac. If you don't want to pay up for it, he's fine if you want. I think another cheaper piece of Washington I like a lot is DeAndre Carter. He's been getting a ton of love in recent weeks, especially this past week.
Too.
Yep, 36 and 54. You need a lot of value in this football game to help you pay for your Mixons and your other pieces elsewhere. So Carter's fine. You can always go Renfro if you want, but I love the Foster Moreau. 27.50. Like you can go Foster Moreau at 27.50 at 5,000. You can go Carter at 36 and 54. You can go a cheap Gibson, a cheap Carr, and have all the money in the world. So I'm not saying it's going to win you things, but I wouldn't be surprised either. So it'd be fun. Fun. You know what else is fun? That's an 11-game slate we just blew through. That was pretty fun. Like I literally thought the thing was broken because I'm like, hey, there's no more games. But that was all of it. That was pretty impressive stuff. Before we get to the touchdown calls of the week and the recap of the week, make sure you guys check out LineStar on their YouTube channel, LineStar, if you'd like to see our pretty faces that only our mothers could love. Or go give us a rate and review on iTunes. We'd appreciate that as well. All right, Bogman, let's recap things real quick. Who are some of your top quarterbacks for the week?
My quarterbacks this week, I'm going to go with Lamar as my number 1, Derek Carr as my best value, and I also love Jimmy G at his price.
We're similar. I got Lamar, I got Carr, and I got Brady. I went Brady on that one.
Like it.
Running backs, I have to narrow this down somehow.
Yeah,
who are your running backs?
All right, well, Mixon is my 1, 81 and 93.
We're on the same page there. I got to have Mixon this
Love him. I think I'm going to boot Montgomery, and I'll take Freeman at 55 and 61 and Jamal Williams at 54 and 65.
Yeah, it's just tough. I have 5 guys. I got to narrow down to 2 over here. So like I said, I already took Mixon. So I got Mixon. I'm going to go Cordero Patterson. I want that action because that price point, like he gets overlooked. And man, Give me Myles Gaskin because you took Jamal Williams, so I'll try to differentiate a little bit. But give me Gaskin at 3. But I'm liking this running back core. And receivers loaded as always, as we say. So who are some receivers you like?
Man, all right. Well, let's go with the Jeffersons, Justin and Van. Love both of them. 82 and 8,000 for Justin, 53 and 58 for Van. And then Russell Gage will be my last guy at 53 and 59.
I like those. I like those a lot. I'm going to go Jalen Waddle. I'm going to go Brandon Ayuk. And I am going to go Deontay Johnson. So those will be my 3. And all the ones we mentioned are all within like 5 to like 6,500.
Yeah.
They're not super expensive.
We're looking more for the deals than anything.
Yeah. PPR, you can find them in the passing game. Tight end position, who you got?
Gronk, 53 and 7,000. Love paying up for him if you're going to pay up. If you're going to middle, go Pat Freiermuth, 42 and 54. And the cheap guy is Foster Moreau, 27 and 5,000.
Yep.
Rinse, repeat. You have the same ones.
Yeah, the same three. That's why I was like, I'm just laughing.
I mean,
we got the same ones. I can tell. I got the same exact ones because there's no Kelsey. There's no it's like going to be pretty simple this week. Defenses. I have 2 defenses written down. I guess I'll play. Actually, I got a third. I'll write down right now. Okay. So who are your 3 defenses?
I mean, I didn't pick defenses here, but if I had to pick,
you did it last week, so I thought I'd add them.
Give me Baltimore. Give me the Colts, and give me the Niners.
Okay. I had the Colts. I had the Niners. And I have Arizona.
Okay.
So we're pretty close. So we're either going to have really good weeks, Bogman, or...
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to go. That's the way it's going to go. Who are some of your top stacks for the week?
Let's go with the R teams. The Raiders, Ravens, Rams, and the last one is not an R, but 49ers.
Yeah, I want to stack up that Raiders-Washington football team game, especially for the value that we talked about. I like that quite a bit. I think Tampa Bay with a splash of Atlanta is okay, like the splash being most likely either Gage and or Patterson, but I like the Tampa Bay side on that one. And then if we have to go with one more, it's a weird week. I'm not in love with a ton of stacks, but give me the Rams. I'll take the Rams as well. I got one where they just blow the doors off of people.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, Bogman, the part everyone is waiting for, the touchdown calls of the day. For those that are new to the touchdown calls of the day, if you follow LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar NFL, they'll tweet out the touchdown calls from myself, Bogman, and Ryan Humphreys. If you retweet that tweet, 3 lucky retweeters will get paired with each one of us for a chance to win some free swag. So, Bogman, who is your touchdown call for Week 13?
You know what? I want to win somebody something, so give me Jonathan Taylor against the Texans. Let's make it easy.
You took him, which is fine because I wasn't who I was going to take. I thought you were going to take this guy, but they're both in the same vein.
Let's win somebody some stuff.
Yeah, I'm taking Joe Mixon.
Boom. You know what? If you had gone first and taken Jonathan Taylor, I would have taken Joe Mixon.
That's why I said when you took Taylor, I'm like, well, that makes it easy.
Let's win some people some stuff. That's what we want.
Free stuff. So you got Jonathan Taylor. I got Joey Mixon. It should be a fun week. It's like in weeks past, it's been kind of like, yeah. This is kind of more fine-tuned, it feels like. Hopefully that's a good thing. So we'll see how that goes here in Week 13 as we're getting down the final stretch here. We got about 5 more weeks to go, Bugs. Going to be fun. But make sure you guys, again, check out LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app, LineStar NFL, and download the app in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. You can find myself on Twitter at BDentric, my co-host on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll be back with you guys next week with your recap.
Good luck.
Thanks for listening to Pre-Snap Podcast, presented by LineStar app. Please like, comment, subscribe, and rate for good karma in your fantasy football